January's video already. Where does the time go? What is up, travelers? Welcome back to Dark Dwellings. For all of you that are new here, my name... Jeez, enough already. We get it. You want to be a YouTuber. Get on with it. Now that I got your attention, I'm making a camper van. And not just any camper van, but the darkest camper van of all time. Now, I'm going to be your host for this crazy thing, and I only have a few videos left before I wrap up this little project, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single detail. So in this video, we're going over everything we did throughout the entire month of January. We wanted to try something new with this one and kind of give an overview of everything we did and not just focus on one particular project. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, or if you prefer our other style, where we guide you through one specific project, please let us know in the comment section and we'll be sure to do more of these videos for you. And my goodness, there goes your attention span again. All right, let's just get into it. Here comes the next clip. Okay, so for this video, we thought it would be fun to do a classic voiceover where we compile a bunch of van build clips and you get to sit back and listen to my soothing voice explain what it is we're doing. Now again, we did a lot of projects for this video, so we're making some major leaps forward in the van build, which is really motivating because it keeps the sort of hype for the van build alive. There's always this point in your van build where you feel like you've been doing a ton of work, but it doesn't really seem like you're getting anywhere. But with all the progress we made this month in the van build, it feels like we're getting our second wind and we're getting so freaking close to the end. You can almost smell the finish line. All right, enough playing around. I've got all of my footage here on my iPad. I've got my fancy microphone to enhance your listening experience. So from here on out, I will just be the little voice inside your head. Subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up on this journey, we are doing a little wire preparation in the garage. Now this is one of the coldest Januaries we've had in a while, so we are doing a lot of work in the garage for this video. And right here we are stripping the wires so that later on we can add the fork connectors. We cut them down to about 3.5 inches, strip the ends, and now we are adding the forks. The forks will make it easier to assemble the entire outlet when we go to install it in the van. Look at those nice hands. These are the outlets we went with. Had to go with the all black to match the dark aesthetic, you already know. I'll have the link for these in the description if you travelers are interested. Here you can see us screwing in the fork connectors to secure the wires in place. Then from here we can take these out to the van and just hook them up to the existing wires and pop the outlet into place, which you travelers will see later on in the video. And another project we tackled in the garage was the passenger side kitchen galley. First, we ripped our sheet of plywood down to the appropriate sizes that we needed. Beautiful. Here comes the speed square daddy. Here we're using the jigsaw to notch out the toe kick for the lower cabinets. This is probably my least favorite tool of all time, but I will link it in the description for you travelers if you want it. After we get all the pieces cut out, we can go ahead and start the assembly process. Now, I've said this in other videos multiple times, but we're going the extra mile with our wood pieces and not using any metal fasteners unless absolutely necessary. That's right, no screws, no nails, no bolts, just dowel rods. So right here, you might not be able to see it, but there are actually two temporary screws holding this all together as I drill my pilot holes for the dowel rods. But once we set the dowel rods and let the glue dry, we come back in, remove the screws, drill out the hole that was left behind, and add an additional rod in its place. This is going to be the top side of the cabinet. We beefed up the supports because this is going to be the cabinetry that's going to hold the cooktop and the sink, so it needs to be able to handle that extra weight. Like the video. What the heck is that noise? Are you travelers hearing this, or is that just on my end? Anyways, back to the video. Here's a small project that probably could have waited until we were closer to the end, but getting some of the van insulation covered up with the finished detail just gives you a little boost of motivation to keep going. And right here, this is the wheel well cover. We only built one of these because the passenger side wheel well is going to be covered up by the water tank. So right here, I'm cutting all of the rubber flooring pieces, and I won't lie to you travelers, getting these to stick was quite a difficult process. I think I just made it more difficult than it needed to be. First, I softened it with a heat gun. When they shipped the whole thing to me, they had it rolled up in a tube. So I used the heat gun to kind of get that bend out. So then I took some leftover adhesive that we used to attach the stone flooring to the subfloor, and I think that adhesive had just sat around in the garage for too long and lost some of its stickiness, if you will. I couldn't get adequate adhesion, so we switched to contact cement. Now, I don't know exactly what went wrong with the contact cement. I think it might have been the underside of the flooring, like the backing, the gray area that you see. I've used contact cement in the past and never had any issues, so the material is really the only thing I could think of that would cause it to not stick as well. But same results with the contact cement. I couldn't get it to stick properly, so I opted for spray adhesive, and that worked perfectly. All right, enough of that. Now we got all of our projects in the van ready for install, but first we're mounting the wall panels. We're using 1/4-inch plywood to keep things ultra light. Once mounted, we marked and cut out the holes for the outlet boxes. Now, I don't have one of those plunge cut tools, which would have been the perfect tool for this project. However, because the plywood is only a 1/4 inch thick, I was able to cut this out using just a utility knife. So when building a van, you should always expect some BS to come your way, even on the most basic of projects, okay? This one outlet gave me trouble when I tried to set it in place. I couldn't get it to go all the way in, so I took it out and realized there's a sort of like metal rib in the van that protrudes inwards and was preventing me from setting the box in place. But on the back of the outlet box, there's a little bump. I'm guessing it's a plastic injection point for when they mold the box in production. But all I did was file that off, and I was just barely able to squeeze that box into place. And now here comes the messy part. Time to cut out the window frames with the router. This is always such a horrible experience, travelers. The router spits out so much dust and debris, it makes it difficult to see what you're doing. The angle I was kind of crouched in didn't help in the slightest. You can see me meander off course a bit. But once the dust settled, we came back, cleaned it up, and we're good to go. Man, what is that noise? Hold on. Man, this fucking noise is gonna mess up the video. Swear to God. Like it. Here we're making the box that will contain the fridge. Now I already had the base assembled, but I still needed to add the air vent. This air vent is going to act as an intake for the heater and also add some ventilation for the fridge. What the fuck? So that's going to wrap things up inside the van for now. Thank you so much for coming along this journey with me. If you like the video and you want some additional content, you can check us out on Instagram. We post a lot of behind the scenes stuff over there, so be sure to check us out and give us a follow. Anyways, it's freezing in here, so let's send this back to the guy with the voiceover and he'll wrap it up for you. Cody, take it away. Subscribe.